Yeah, I know what I said. I said I wouldn't be doing any more videos on alcohol because I wanted to do more substantive, interesting things. Just checking the water flow, okay? That's where it's going. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to talk to you whilst you've got something pretty to look at. I mean, that's one of the reasons I set this thing up. You know, get the water flow going, get the existing ferment going in there. See if I can make myself a little bit of alcohol. Yep, this probably is a dangerous setup. Just get on your knees tonight and pray that I'm not going to blow up. Right. Solar. Got a delivery of cells which I'm going to start making into panels. Now, some of them I'm going to make large, some I'm going to make small. The reason for this is because sometimes I just going to want to do little things like, you know, charging up cell phone batteries and that sort of mobile phone batteries and that sort of thing. But I also want to be a little bit more varied with the type of solar products that I'm doing, because it's not just going to be about trying to generate the full 240 volts, whatever wattage it is that I'm going to require to run big scary things off the main, such as the computer, the monitor, CD and DVD player, television, food mixer, and so on and so forth. It's also a question of lots of little fiddly things, because as you start doing more in the way of off-grid type technology, you know, you realize it's sometimes the small things that matter. And sometimes if you have more variety, so it seems when I did that off-grid week, I thought about the little things I was using. I was using that little oil lamp that I made. I was using that little torch which I happened to have got from a, you know, from a tourist spot, but that was an off-grid torch. You know, it was wind-upable kind of thing. I thought about the Trevor Bayliss torch. All these little things that make up the whole experience made it likely that I wasn't gonna like break my neck or damage myself in some way or another. It was all due to the fact that I had little things that could do very useful tasks. I thought about the radio I've got. I don't know whether I've shown it to you. I'll show it to you now whilst I've got the camera running. Yeah, I know, my room's a complete tip, but what the heck. There it is. The winder is a bit dodgy. It's a wind-up, okay? The winder's a bit dodgy. That bar which crossed through doesn't quite do its job properly, so I'm just relying upon the solar. But every night I'm listening to Radio 3 on that thing, and it's pretty good. You set it up top volume, you can hear it basically throughout the entire flat. So essentially that's some of my entertainment being done without the need for extra grid reliance. Okay, yeah, sure, this thing is running off the mains at the moment, but that's going to be something I'm going to remedy as well. So, you know, keep your, you know, pantyhose on, or whatever the phrase is, whilst I'm working on new and interesting ways of doing this. I mean, off-grid is, I mean, planning it, thinking about it, working out what else I can do. It's just good fun. I mean, just something, just to show you, you know, one of the most basic forms of off-grid technology, namely food that you can prepare without any electricity or gas or anything, namely sprouts, is something that I do on such a regular basis now. You know, I mean, I had some of this stuff for lunch. I'm going to have a little bit more for dinner. I got some more for tomorrow on the go. And before I go to bed tonight, I'll set some more out to soak, so I've got some for the next day, because, you know, different types of bean or lentil takes different quantities of time to sprout. But that's another off-grid technology which I basically use anyway. So, yeah, I mean, sure, I'm not currently pure, as it were, so to speak, but on the other hand, you know, I'm doing a lot of off-grid stuff. And making things and playing with stuff is sure is a good hobby anyway. So, small solar projects as well as large solar projects are in the offering as the channel carries on progressing. Okay guys, sorry to bore you with the subject again, you know, the making of alcohol. I'm sure you find it incredibly boring. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, that, lots of boring alcohol at about 90%, pouring out of that hose into that boring little jar full of boring little alcohol. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's been rather erratic getting the temperatures right. It's currently on 56.1, been going up and down a bit. But I'd be much better skilled at getting the temperatures just about right. The bottom temperature is the one you've got to pay attention to, not the top one apparently, so the guy from the shop said. So I'm making fuel. and you know, it's working like a treat. Thing was, and this is why I'm making this tiny bit of footage right now, is because when I did the calculations with the percentage, I used the beer and wine hydrometer initially to measure the percentage of alcohol in the mash, or wash, or whatever you want to call it. It said that there was between 3.5 and 5% alcohol by volume. Okay, because I looked at the chart when I looked at the specific gravity before and afterwards, and hey presto, I seem to be making a little more alcohol than those measurements seem to imply, which kind of like makes me quite happy, because that means it's being quite efficient this time round, and I don't quite know why. I still have to research like mad to find the right combination of nutrients for good quality fermentation, high efficiency fermentation, and at low cost. But you know, you can see it. Drip, 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 drip. That's the fuel of the future, baby.